On today's episode, I will show you how to make a cupcake barrette. I'm going to start out today by making a base for the barrette. And we always use the Made in France barrettes. They always say Made in France right in the middle. And the reason for that is this interior piece does not come out, and these are a much sturdier barrette and they hold hair in a much stronger way. So to start out with the base, I've rolled out the Fimo Effect in Jade on the thickest setting of my pasta machine. And this is about a 3 1/4 inch barrette, so I'm going to cut a piece that's about 3/4 of an inch wide. I don't usually measure, so I just kind of guess. And then about 3 1/2 inches long. I'll get this piece out of the way. Put that over here. So usually what I do with barrettes is I kind of line it up next to the clay and then cut it so that it goes over the edges a little bit more. Now go ahead and just center the barrette on, centered like that on the back. And that's the base. Now I'm going to make my cupcakes to go on the barrette. So I've rolled out the Fimo Effect in light pink on the 5th thickest setting on my pasta machine. And then I've taken the Heartfelt Creations Sweet Shop Treats. This is the cupcake design with 5 cupcakes on it. And I've put the cling stamp onto the cling ring thing that's by JudiKins. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that. And you can do that lightly because we're just going to get the image onto the pink clay. And then I'm gently going to press down on the pink clay. And there's the image of the cupcakes. So I've let the ink dry on here, and then I'm going to use the matching craft die, and this is also from Heartfelt Creations, and this will fit exactly over our image. So I just line it up and place it right over the image. And this is a little bit different use of a craft die. Usually you would use this with paper, but I'm using it directly onto the clay to just delineate basically where the edges are. So I've pressed it down all the way around, then we need to lift off the craft die, like so. And as you can see, we now have lines around all the cupcakes. So I'm going to go ahead and use the JudiKins pen knife. This is a great little tiny detail knife that's perfect for cutting around all the cupcakes. Now, as you probably noticed, some of these cupcakes have candles on them. Now, on this smaller size barrette, I've made the designer choice to eliminate the candles. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the candles. Just going to cut out a couple of these so you can see what I'm doing. But you would cut around all of these, and then you can lift away the excess. And go ahead and do that. At least around these two. There we go. You can also roll the clay down to the 6th thickest setting, and you can almost get that all the way through with the craft die. I did that on one of them. It just makes your cupcakes a little delicate to get off of the tile. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift each one off the tile, and I'll bring my barrette back in, and you're going to go ahead, have a few little crumbs on the edge there, and place all of your cupcakes onto your barrette. And then we're going to bake this at 265 for half an hour. I'm going to go ahead and put all of these on, but I'm just going to show you a couple of them. You can put them all the way across the barrette. So the barrette has come out of the oven. The jade clay bakes a little bit darker, so we have a little bit darker green background now. And now we're going to decorate our cupcakes. So I've mixed the Fimo liquid with a little bit of white oil paint, and in each of these metal containers, this one I added a drop of yellow ink, this one has a drop of magenta ink, and this has a drop of blue ink. And the white oil paint gives it a little less transparency, makes it a little bit more opaque. So then I just use a skewer and pick up a little bit, and it's just like decorating cakes. Just gonna put it on to where you want it to be. Now, as you can see, part of this has a pattern that came from the stamp. So if you don't want it to be that opaque, you can always use your finger and move it around like this so that you can see the black ink underneath, so that you don't lose your patterning underneath. And then you can go into the next color and pick up a little bit. You want a little, put some pink dots here where the dots are. I always use a skewer because it has this nice fine tip. So I go through and I decorate all of the different cupcakes however you want. And you can pick whatever color you want, it's just fun. And if you want it to be a little bit more of a raised design when you're done, then you want to use a little bit thicker application of the liquid clay, kind of like this, so then it'll bake raised like it looks when you put it on. You can kind of do it across, you can go all over, whatever you want to do. And this, if you want it to be more translucent, transparent, you can go like this so you still see the black underneath. So you're going to go ahead and decorate all of your cupcakes, and then at the end I take a little sprinkle of the JudiKins embossing powder and I sprinkle it over the entire piece like this. And then I'm going to put the whole thing back in the oven for 15 minutes at 265. This is what the Barrette looks like once it's out of the oven the second time. And then what I go ahead and do is I use some E6000 and I glue it onto the back. Something to think about when you do barrettes that are single-sided. So you want your cupcakes to be upright when you have it in your hair. So if you're right-handed, you're going to want the clasp part of the barrette to be on the left-hand side. And if you're left-handed, you want to turn it around the other way.